solutions, just general topics to get an idea about. And I have some examples, some screenshots from different workplaces, how WhatsApp could look like, or what routing engine means, or what we can do. And afterwards, we jump into the live demonstration with Philip. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask them. I think we should be able to run through the whole show in about 45 to 50 minutes, so there should be enough time at the end. So just feel free to ask your questions at any time. And let's start with just a few sentences about the company, at least with the latest figures. If you already know NFON very well, we are the only pan-European cloud telephone system provider, covering 15 different countries where we act as a provider. Of course, we can deliver our solutions across whole Europe, working together with different partners. So of course we can port or get new numbers everywhere in Europe, even across the borders from Europe. We have already customers, and we do that now since 2007. And currently we have already over 500 employees taking care of our data centers in Munich and in Nuremberg. We opened a third data center in Frankfurt, which will be online pretty soon. And of course, with all the high availability and the geo redundancy, you might already know. In the moment, we are about 45,000 business customers across Europe. And since the end of last year, we now have over 500,000 active users or extensions using our services and solutions. When we have a short look into the question why a cloud-based contact center solution makes sense, we have at least 4 topics which are the main drivers to look into a cloud solutions. Of course, it's the location dependency, which means you just need a simple data connection, a simple internet access to get access to all those services and solutions and contact center features we're talking about later on, or we will see later on. And we're not talking about VPN or MPLS networks. It's just a standard internet connection with the proper quality, and you can run your workplaces, your home office, your office across whole Europe. Of course, it doesn't matter where you are located. As soon as you're online, you can run your contact center environment. And location dependency doesn't only mean the location of your office or your home office. It also means we are device independent. If you like your old-fashioned hard phone, no problem for us. We're fine if you want to use it for your call center environment. But of course, in the meantime, we can put all the necessary product solutions on a single laptop, which means with a single device, you can run your call contact center solutions from NFON. The solution portfolio itself brings us in the situation today that we can really look at the needs from the customer and of course the budget, and not our products define the solution. It is the requirements we get from the customers, where we choose different products, put them together to a solution, and we can even mix up different products. So call center requirements does not mean you have to have our biggest fancy contact center solution and Ncontactcenter. It might be also be possible just to mix certain features from the contact center world together with the recording solution, together with standard feature set from the PBX. And of course, our portfolio allows our customers to expand their infrastructure in the way they need it. So we have a lot of customers starting with the single location, a single team, and afterwards, step by step, expanding not only users, but also different communication channels. So just a few weeks ago in Austria, we had a customer starting with a call distribution, and now is on the way to add WhatsApp communication, for example. The pay-per-use model, you might already know, gives us the possibility to pay only what you need, in the meaning of changing the number of users, changing the products in the background, start with a smaller application maybe, and afterwards add new communication channel, even with new products, which end up in usually lower initial costs, and of course in a pretty short contract duration we offer. Last but not least, nothing new to you, but just to fill up the picture, the technology itself is a reason to migrate to the cloud. You don't need any trunks anymore. Of course, we are able to offer zip trunks as well as we offer our Cloudia solutions and NFON solutions, but of course it's not needed anymore. You just need internet connection and that's it, and you can migrate on the fly, in the meaning of step by step or in the way your business needs to grow. No maintenance, of course. Ncontactcenter solutions or contact center solutions from NFON in general are always at the latest version, the latest release, so there is no need to upgrade or update. You just add users or features by demand. And last but not least, we fulfill all the compliant guides you might need in your country or in general across Europe. Of course, we have a maximum regarding availability and security. Moving on to a short look into the product and the user interface. So in general, we can sum it up again in 4 different topics. With our contact center solutions, we are able to address the communication, which means we have a telephone system, of course, we have a zip trunk, we can even combine both of them. So if you have an older system, you're not able to migrate to immediately or get rid of it. We can even cross-connect our Cloudia telephone system, our Ncontactcenter solution together with a zip trunk. And last but not least, we are able to use other communication infrastructures like Microsoft Teams. We can integrate easily, but we have also customers out there using their old PBX, their old telephone system, and just put on top our contact center solutions. Integration is a big story with almost any customer we have today. The easiest feature set or the most simple feature set, click to dial, name resolution, of course, but today we need to integrate into third-party applications, and we need to cross-connect different systems in the background. So we can use a contact center solution and put on top of it a call recording solution, for example. And again, we are independent from any location or any device. We have no problem to run our contact center user interface in a Teams client. I will show you later on a screenshot to get a better idea about that story. So there are almost no limits anymore. The limits are, of course, the requirements and last but not least, the budget from our customers. Distribution is another very important topic in that contact center area. Of course, we are able to add communications channels by need. So you can have a higher number or lower the number of users over the time. Of course, we have different possibilities to monitor and to report within our different solutions. And last but not least, we are able to offer event-based routing, in the meaning of we can cover emergency-based routing as well as handle different communication channels like email, like chat, like WhatsApp, and of course, phone calls. Last but not least, we are always able within our portfolio to add certain solutions or certain feature specs with other applications. If you run a contact center from NFON, it's no problem at all to add alarm management system, or to add special call recording products. Even call recording products integrated into Microsoft Teams, for example, can be used. And of course, we are also able to cover the hospitality requirements we get from our customers out there. When I find my mouse, we can jump to a short overview, just to give you an idea which products we have related to call distribution or contact centers. Of course, we have our Claudia PBX, our Claudia telephone system, which already delivers queues, skill sets, voice menus, together with the N-monitoring queues, which is a web-based reporting tool for real-time and historical reporting, as well as an agent user interface, by the way. We are already able to cover basic needs regarding call distribution with a very simple pack of products, and of course very cost-efficient solutions. If Claudia, together with N-monitoring, does not cover the requirements at all, we come to our topic from today, the Ncontactcenter, where we'll have a look into the system together with Philip later on. The Ncontactcenter is an event-based multi-channel contact center, which means there are no limitations regarding channels. We support telephone calls, of course, but we are also able to deliver callback services on a higher level. Chat, WhatsApp, email is integrated, and with email, of course, comes SMS, fax, or even letters we can support. And event-based means you can integrate any other third-party application, like a ticket system or whatever system delivers events you might want to route. The routing engine is more or less a headline. The routing engine means we use certain features from other products like the Ncontactcenter and cover customer requirements just with that set of features. We have a lot of customers with needs like a source-based routing, or just handling emergency calls, emergency announcements, emergency situations where we don't need the complete Ncontactcenter in the background to cover those requirements. And so we introduced the routing engine to get a very cost-effective solution, a very cost-effective possibility to cover some requirements without installing and maintaining a huge contact center solution. The routing engine take features from different products. Could be a Claudia telephone system, could be N-monitoring queues, but most of the time we use the Ncontactcenter in that area. Operator console, attendant consoles are part of the call distribution, of course. We have products in our portfolio to cover that requirement. At the end of the day, it's especially user interface, where you have a where the address book status information is more important beside the call distribution and reporting in that area. And last but not least, with NCTI Pro, we have another product or another solution, let's say, in our portfolio, which can cover things like team-wide call journals, or a very simple way to introduce a chat communication channel on your website. Just a few examples, and the prices you see on the slide is just more or less a guideline. So to give you an idea where such solutions might start. If you want to introduce WhatsApp as a communication channel in your company, it's pretty easy to bring such a system up to life. And you can start with a single workplace and of course raise the number to a limited number of users. It's just a graphical user interface you need. Of course, there is no phone call. It's just a WhatsApp message you want to distribute. And the cool thing is that you can use any phone number to receive and send WhatsApp messages. So it could be your standard company's phone number where you want to, which you want to use to exchange WhatsApp messages, and you can receive and distribute the WhatsApp messages, again, location independent, so it doesn't matter where you want to answer such WhatsApp messages. You just need to be online and a web-based graphical user interface from the Ncontactcenter, and you suddenly can handle WhatsApp messages. Part of the whole story are 8,000 conversations per month, which is usually quite a big amount and cover most of our customers' requirements. And each conversation can again have an unlimited number of messages within 24 hours. Of course, if that package is not enough, we can always put some additional conversations on top. And last but not least, you can easily add other communication channels to such a system, because you have the Ncontactcenter in the background up and running using WhatsApp, and it's pretty easy to add a call distribution or even chat or email. Another example, just to give you an idea, if you would like to use Teams as user interface, as device, we have the possibility to integrate Teams, which means you have just all the available contact center features in your client, as well as the telephone device, the soft phone you use. And on any device, you can start your team client, you have your contact center features with you. Again, we are device independent in that area. And of course, putting our Ncontactcenter solution into the Teams environment give you the chance to improve your customer service or get out more informations, in the meaning of you have a huge pack of features in the background you can add to the standard Teams features. And of course, we have a much more detailed reporting together with the Ncontactcenter compared to the pure Teams feature set. And as always, it's pretty easy to get some other communication channels on top of it. Ncontactcenter is running in the background, so it's just a question of a few hours to add WhatsApp in such an environment. Last but not least, before we move to Philip, just an idea again about routing engine. As I told you before, as I mentioned before, routing engine means we use certain features from other products. So if you use the Ncontactcenter as a routing engine, we just add features. And features could be something like a satisfaction survey, which you can hand over to your incoming phone calls after the conversation took place in an easy way. We have customers asking for a follow me features just to get phone calls to any device which is available, but just simply dial into a predefined number and suddenly you get all your calls to that device. And of course, quite often used features these days change the behavior of the phone system in the background, the routing behavior or the announcements. Quite often customers asking for IT departments, your exchange system is not running anymore and you want to change the announcements in the meaning of thank you for your call. We know there are no emails for the moment. We are working on that issue. Things like that. Pretty easy ways to add features to your system, very customer specific features, without using a complete contact center solutions in the background, just using some small parts of the Ncontactcenter. Who is using those features, those solutions? Just to give you an idea, it's more or less to have the slides within my presentation when we forward it to you afterwards. We have customers in all businesses these days. So city administration, we have quite a long-term customer in our hand using basic call distribution together with an operating console and need some specific reporting. With the Styria marketing services, we have it's over 100 agents already, mainly inbound contact center, but using outbound as well, using more sophisticated callback features in the background. Their main point was easy and quick self-administration, so they have their own administrators and their own supervisors taking care of the whole system. And another pretty special requirement, they use an old existing telephone system in the background, and we just put our Ncontactcenter solution on top of it in a private cloud, which means more or less on-premise installation. Besides the well-known references, we have a couple of different references in Austria as well, in standard inbound contact centers, using call distribution mainly, but like the G&H Dialog, which is a service provider for tour operators, they need WhatsApp communication channels now, so they can use the Ncontactcenter call distribution and put WhatsApp on top. We have different call center service providers in Austria using inbound and outbound call center features. We have, of course, different possibilities to integrate into existing infrastructures. So usually we're using REST API, like we have it with Hook and Cotton, a construction machinery supplier, so they have cranes and excavators in their portfolio, and they're using Sage, for example, in the background, and the meta directory from Estos we had to integrate. And of course, quite common are TAPI integrations, just to get a name resolution. And on the other hand, we are of course able to write back call log information as we have it in a lawyer company in Vienna. I think they're located in Vienna, yeah. And they just had special requirements in the meaning of the incoming calls define the voice menu selection. So we look into a third-party system, identify the incoming caller, and give the right choices in the meaning of pressing 1 for sales, pressing 2 for invoicing, whatever is available for the customer. We know the caller's advisor, the right agent for that incoming call, and can hand over the caller to the proper person within the company. Another special feature request was to play an announcement before we put the caller through, where the agent will hear the file number, some kind of a customer number, the name and the language of the client who wants to call or talk to him. And of course, again, using TAPI, we are able to write back into a phone log of their CRM system, just using a REST interface. And that lawyer, for example, do not use the full Ncontactcenter feature set. They're just using some smaller parts. That's why they have some routing engine features to handle those requirements.